Roscoe, will you listen to me? I am playing tonight. Count on it. Well, the thing is, McGinnis just finished working on this big case, and she's waiting for the jury to come in, and I think I ought to hang around. No, Roscoe, I am not afraid of a little rain. I'm gonna be there. And I have cash in my pocket, which is probably more than you can say for those other gonups. Listen, Roscoe, this is personal, you understand? Yeah, forget McGinnis. I want to know how it came out. Well, they went into the jury room about 3:30. It's 7:45 now. I mean, how much longer can it take? Look, Roscoe, I will be there by 8:30. Guaranteed, absolutely. Listen, EJ, you don't have to stick around. Why don't you take off?
This paper's due Friday, Harry.
Still no word from McGinnis, huh?
She said she'd call.
It's sure taking a long time.
Now, that's a good sign, Harry. The first time around, they convicted Mr. O'Brien in 45 minutes. Mr. McGraw's office. Yeah, he's here. It's him again.
Who?
The Cincinnati Kid.
What? Hey, Roscoe, have you got a hearing problem or what? I told you I'll be there. Who? Mark? Hey, wait a minute. Is Pete Marchetti a regular in this game, or am I a regular in this game?
It's a very good sign on Ellie.
No, it's disaster.
They wouldn't have ordered dinner sent in if they weren't close to a verdict.
What verdict, Steve?
Well, who cares? They're eating. Would you have sent out for pizza if you're about to send a man back to prison for the rest of his life?
So? What happened?
The jury sent out for the bailiff.
The verdict?
They ordered up dinner.
Could be a long night. So what do you think?
Great!
Awful.
You should have heard her in summation, EJ. She was terrific.
I was dreadful. I started rambling like a lunatic. One of the jurors was actually asleep.
So he was sleeping while Tyler was talking to. Look, maybe we should get something to eat.
Now you eat. I want to work on the transcripts.
Well, she's back.
Yeah? How'd it go?
The jury's still out.
What does that mean?
I think she could use a little cheering up, Harry. You know, a pep talk.
What, from me? Oh, come on, EJ. You know I'm no good at that sort of stuff.
Uncle Harry, the way she's sitting in there, it's Gloom City.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Oh, but listen, if Roscoe calls, you tell him I'm leaving here in 5 minutes.
Right. Roscoe.
What do you mean you won't deliver just one pizza?
No, I'm not about to pick it up. It's raining.
So, EJ tells me you knocked him dead.
There was only one corpse in the courtroom, Harry, and you're looking at it. Oh, Harry. How did I have the gall to think that I could win a case that Matt couldn't?
Oh, come on, McGinnis. It ain't over till the judge says back to jail. Besides, what about that new evidence I dug up?
New evidence got us a new trial. It does not mean I convinced the jury.
Sure you did. Hey, the guy's innocent. There's no question about it.
There must be a question. Otherwise, the jury wouldn't be in there for 4 hours.
Excuse me, Aunt Ellie? I couldn't find anyone to deliver. How about if I run down to Gilhooly's and pick up some sandwiches?
No, really, it's all right, Stephen. I'm not hungry.
Oh, come on, you gotta eat. Hey, why don't we all go? We'll get out of here for a while.
No, I want to stay by the phone.
Well, we can leave a message on the machine. Let them know where to find us.
Really, I'm fine. You go. Matt was so certain he was going to win this case.
Yeah.
Well, you never gave up, Harry.
Well, I didn't see you throwing in any towel either. Hey, let's face it, McGinnis, you gave it your best shot. We all did.
Do you remember how confident Matt was that first morning of the trial? was like a prize fighter who couldn't wait to get into the ring.
Ellie! Ellie, where's the written deposition?
The top drawer where you left it last night.
No. I didn't even see it last night.
Of course you did. You were reading it.
Oh. Good thing I've got you around, kid.
Good thing.
Where's Harry?
Trying to find Santini's bookkeeper.
Where's he looking, San Juan?
New York. Should be back this afternoon, if he finds her.
Well, as soon as he gets back, get him down to the courthouse. That neighbor, Mrs. Feinberg, she's starting to waffle on her story. I want to see Harry's notes.
Right.
So, how do I look?
Like a very successful Boston attorney with the world at his feet. Also very sexy.
Now, if that's your idea of an invitation, you got a lousy sense of timing.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to take your mind off your case.
Let's eat in tonight.
I was going to suggest it.
I still got to meet with that idiot from the DA's office.
Tyler Chase?
Mm-hmm.
Already canceled.
I like the way you think.
It's a good thing it's not all you like about me. Go get him, Tiger. Knock him dead.
Santini's bookkeeper, Nora Mendoza. She was a real beauty. Off she goes to New York. See no evil, hear no evil. Oh, Mr. McGraw, I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing. These are my brothers, Carlos, Pepe, and Oscar. The three stooges escort me from Spanish Harlem to LaGuardia. I later found out that she had a plane ticket in her pocket to Acapulco, plus $5,000 in a checkbook. Hey, how come everybody but the state of Massachusetts knew that those two second-story men killed O'Brien's wife?
Harry, there wasn't a shred of evidence. And as difficult as it may be for you to accept, you can't force anyone to take a lie detector test.
Yeah. Nobody even figured it was a little strange that the wife's diamond ring shows up at Santini's hock shop, and then Nora Mendoza's nephew, the bumbling burglar, gets nailed for the robbery. She takes a powder to New York.
They admitted to the robbery, not the murder.
Hey, what do you say we play some gin? Penny a point. I'll even let you deal. What's so funny?
I was just remembering that funny little man, that motel clerk, the one who kept playing around with his mustache like it was pasted on. What was his name?
I don't remember.
He was a state's witness. Gerstein, something.
Dershowitz.
Marvin Dershowitz.
And you own the Lazy Days Motel on Route 1A in Revere?
Owned and operated, yes.
For how long?
The past 3 years.
And before that, what did you do? Do you need some help answering that question, Mr. Gersowitz?
Of course not. I operated a bookstore.
What kind of a bookstore?
A bookstore. Where people buy books.
Sorry, but my notes say that you owned Marvin's Sex Emporium in Camden, New Jersey. Have I got that wrong?
We catered to a specific clientele.
Ah, yes, I see.
One cannot make a profit in generalized distribution these days. We recognize the need and fill the void.
A public service.
Precisely!
Objection, Your Honor. All of this is totally irrelevant.
Mr. McGinnis?
I'm coming to a point here, Your Honor.
Then get to it as quickly as possible. Overruled.
Tell me, Mr. Gersowitz, how long did you own this bookstore in Camden?
9 years.
And during that time, I'll bet you had many regular customers.
Of course, yes.
Could you name a few for us?
Name a few.
A few. Several. 3? 2?
Well, frankly, I don't remember them by name.
Even people that patronized your store for, say, 9 years?
They came, they went.
Half the time you were probably so busy you didn't even lift your head from the cash register.
That is correct.
Then tell me, Mr. Gersowitz, how is it that you were able to identify the defendant with such clarity, whom you claim checked into your motel 10 months ago?
Well,
Are you under some kind of medication to improve your memory?
Objection.
Isn't it true you hadn't the foggiest idea who John O'Brien was until the DA shoved his photograph under your nose?
Not true! Not true! And it was that man who showed me the photo.
That sounds like the kind of thing Tyler would pull. He was always heavy into brownie points in those days.
Matt was in rare form during that trial.
Hey, he was always on top of things. Right up until the end. Even on his worst day, he was always in there pitching, giving it everything he had. I never saw him quit. Not on a client, not on anybody. Not on me, that's for sure. What do you think? The storm? Is it good or bad? For the jury, I mean.
Probably works both ways.
Maybe I shouldn't have let the Mendoza brothers push me around like that.
What were you going to do, fight all three of them? And then what? You didn't have a warrant.
Matt sure didn't see it that way.
Okay, the usual. So, Harry, guess I missed you at the courthouse.
Yeah, geez, I'm sorry, Matt. I got hung up trying to get out of LaGuardia. By the time I got to Logan, I figured court would be adjourned for the day, you know? I guess Ellie told you what happened with that Mendoza dame. I mean, I had her right here, you know? Then these three brothers of hers show up. But what was I supposed to do, you know?
What I told you to do in the first place. Wait for the warrant, take the NYPD cop with you to the apartment.
Oh, come on, Matt. 99 times out of 100, I could have handled it. It was just a bad break, that's all.
We make our own breaks, Harry. Thanks, Cookie.
Cookie, again.
What are you trying to do, set a new record?
What's that supposed to mean?
Means you're getting permanently attached to that stool.
Just because I have a couple of belts?
It was a couple 3 years ago. Last year, it was a couple before lunch, a couple before dinner.
What are you doing, keeping a scorecard? You know, if I want to lecture, I'll go see Father Tim.
Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad idea. Hey, you know, I saw Tim last week. He was asking about you. Yeah, I think he's worried about you, too.
Yeah, well, he always was a bleeding heart, even in high school. Hey, you think I can't handle this stuff? Look at that. Steady as a rock. I mean, no offense, Matt, but some guys can handle this and some guys can't. I'm just one of the lucky ones, that's all.
Lucky, huh? Yeah. Well, don't be planning any trips to Las Vegas, Harry. Say, I heard that Irene's getting married again.
Oh, yeah, some cop. Hey, a couple more months, no more alimony.
Great. Good thing you got a place to spend it, too, huh? Listen, tomorrow, I want you to double-check on that neighbor, Mrs. Feinberg. Halverson's calling her Friday. I don't want any surprises. Now, if you need me tonight, you know where I'll be. St. Anne's basement, 7 o'clock. Better yet, drop by yourself.
Don't hold your breath.
Hi. Look, they were out of pastrami, so I got you corned beef instead.
Thanks.
Mustard, lettuce, and coleslaw on the side. Any word?
Great. Door's still closed.
Me and Matt are standing there when up drives Tim in his chopped 49 Ford coupe, cherry condition. I mean, you could eat off the hood. Right away, I see the gears start going around in Matt's head because he's got a date that night with Beverly Benedetto. Naturally, this was before your time.
Naturally.
Anyway, Matt's wheels are temporarily down for the count because of a run-in he had the night before with a utility pole. Because, as you know, Matt was not exactly the greatest driver who ever came down the pike.
No, he wasn't.
Well, anyway, he starts laying this line of bull on Tim about his old maid aunt who he promised to give a ride out to some hospital in Winchester to see her sister, who's got about 45 minutes before the big guy in the sky takes her up to see the angels. Now, like I said, Tim's a real sucker, because he doesn't even think, how's this old maid aunt gonna like riding around in this jazzed-up jalopy with no top? So, before you know it, Matt's flying off to see Beverly. Only, you remember the utility pole I was telling you about?
He didn't.
There's Tim scooping about 6 pieces, and Matt's standing there without a scratch on him. But by the time he hoofs it over to Beverly's, she's already gone off to the flicks with Bernie Crowder, who she later married. By the way, a marriage not made in heaven, but in the back seat of Bernie Studebaker.
Harry.
So, you see how close Matt came to becoming a TV repairman in Chelsea with 7 kids.
Hello. Yes, Tyler.
I didn't know what you wanted, so I got it
No, I
smell a
don't
burger.
want anything.
just the way you like it, Harry.
Do you
Onions,
have any
tomatoes,
idea how much
mustard,
it'll
mayo, horseradish, and a slice of provolone.
No,
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta call Roscoe. Thanks, kid. Next time the eats are on me.
Well, actually, we're eating in tonight.
EJ, get me Roscoe on the phone, will you?
They're playing without you, Harry.
What do you mean they're playing without me?
I told them you were tied up, unavailable, and indisposed.
What'd you do that for?
Because you can play poker any Wednesday night. And you usually do. But this particular Wednesday night, you are needed here.
Hey, my being here is not gonna change the jury's verdict.
Harry, you are being very insensitive.
No, just practical, that's all. Just practical. Do you know that Angelo is bringing his brother-in-law Guido to the game tonight? Now, Guido just happens to be an optimist who never met a hand he didn't like. He also happens to be a dentist with a guilt complex. See, he feels bad about all this money he makes by inflicting pain on his fellow man. And money just flows from Guido like seltzer from a soda fountain. Roscoe, Harry, what do you mean you're playing without me? You're not playing at all? A power failure? You're kidding. Oh, wait, I got a great idea. My power is great here. Yeah, we can play here. What? Why not? Candlelight? Wait, Roscoe, the last time we played in the dark, Eddie Felcher was clipping corners of the cards, bending the edges, dealing seconds. So what if he lost? It's the principle of the thing. Look, just pile the guys in the car. You'll be here 20 minutes tops. We'll be dealing the first hand by 8:45. Absolutely. Hey, and if you're thinking of bringing Pete Marchetti, forget about it. Not now! Thank you.
You have to eat something, Aunt Ellie.
Look, Stephen, do you mind terribly? I'd rather be alone right now.
Sure. And if you need anything, I'll just be inside.
Hello. Yes, this is Mrs. McGinnis. No, really, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Excuse me, I have never heard of Pinecone Estates, and nor do I have any interest in... Would you please get off the phone? I'm expecting an emergency.
Hey, kid, will you grab the other end?
Obviously, there's nothing to grab onto.
We're just gonna slide it, all right?
Okay. Relax.
And that's it. All right. Thanks a lot.
No, man.
Hey, listen, if you want to sit in tonight, I can arrange it.
Oh, no, thanks.
No, really, we're a hand short. I mean, usually we play with 7. I mean, a chance like this doesn't come along every week.
Maybe some other time.
Oh, listen, kid. You know, if you don't know anything about the game, I'd be happy to teach you.
Believe it or not, Harry, I do know how to play poker. My Aunt Mildred taught me when I was 8 years old.
Your Aunt Mildred? Well, listen, if you change your mind, the buy-in's only $200.
Right.
Oh, EJ, could you come down to the storeroom and help me with the folding chairs?
I don't do chairs, Harry.
Oh, you know, I was just saying to Steve, we got a seat open, and since he's got other plans, forget it.
McGinnis. What? How long ago? Thanks. Aunt Ellie? The jury's coming in.
EJ, will you listen to me? Look, when the guys show up, just tell them to start without me. The jury's coming in the door now. I'll be back maybe 30 minutes tops.
All rise. The Superior Court of the First District Court is now in session.
The Honorable Paul E. Lackley presiding.
Mr. Foreman, you have reached a verdict?
No, Your Honor, we haven't.
Well, then perhaps, Mr. Foreman, you will be good enough to explain to us just what we're all doing here?
Your Honor, we've taken 6 ballots. The results are the same each time. No amount of persuasion can move us from a deadlock.
I see.
My feeling, sir, is that we could stay here from now until next Easter, and the situation would not change.
Well, Mr. Foreman, and you other members of the jury, you may indeed remain in that room until Easter or beyond. We are not a hockey match, and I don't intend this trial to end in a draw. So I suggest you go back in that room, and however you do it, come to some sort of unanimity. And because I have an early golf date in the morning, I suggest you do it quickly.
Henderson.
Sir?
How's things going in there? I mean, what's the vote?
I wouldn't know.
Of course you know. You always know.
I don't think I should discuss it, sir.
Don't be ridiculous. Listen to me, Henderson. I want to know the vote, and I want to know it now.
10-2.
What do you say? We're going to go back or what?
No, you go, Harry. I'm going to stay for a while.
Hey, you know, they're liable to be at this all night.
And I might be here all night.
I'll wait for you in the corridor, Aunt Ellie.
Mr. McGinnis, will you continue?
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, John, you've already stated that when you arrived home at 8 o'clock that evening, you found the door unlocked.
Yes.
Wasn't that unusual?
Sure. Maddie never left the door unlocked. She wanted to install a burglar alarm, buy a gun, all those things. I used to kid her about it.
But this evening when you arrived home, the door was unlocked. All right, so what did you do then?
I went inside. She was lying on the kitchen floor. There was a knife in her chest, blood all over the place. I knelt down and yanked out the knife and tried to shake her back to life. I knew she was dead, but I was in a panic. I couldn't think. They told me later I threw up.
And after you found her, what did you do then?
I called the police.
All right, John. I'm going to ask you now, in the sight of God, did you murder your wife, Madeleine O'Brien?
No, I swear it.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Halderson.
Mr. O'Brien, would you say that you had been a devoted family man?
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, as far as it went between Maddie and me, we didn't have any kids.
I see, but you were still in love with her after 11 years of marriage?
Yes, sir.
Faithful?
Yes.
Then 3 days before her death, you did not spend several hours at the Lazy Days Motel with a woman as yet to be identified whom we have labeled as Jane Smith.
No.
In fact, I would venture to say you don't even know where the Lazy Days Motel is.
No, I don't.
What about the Motel Casablanca in Medford? It's on High Street. Have you ever been there?
Not that I recall.
Then you don't recall spending time there with an attractive brunette who matches the description of our elusive Jane Smith.
Look, I told you before, I've never been to either of those places.
It was on the evening of May 13th. 6 weeks before your wife's death. Do you recall now, Mr. O'Brien?
No.
Well, do you possibly recall having car trouble? Specifically, a dead battery? Do you recall having to call a local service station for assistance?
Look, I told you before...
I know what you told me, Mr. O'Brien. Do you recall the tow truck arriving at approximately 10:30 and greeting it in the company of an attractive woman who fits the description of Jane Smith to a T? I can produce the mechanic, Mr. O'Brien. I can have him identify you.
Hey, Matt, if I screwed up, I'm sorry.
You didn't screw up, Harry. He lied.
Not too bright.
I knew there was something about this case that smelled like week-old chili dip.
Yeah. So, what do you say? What's the story?
Well, to begin with, his marriage was terrible, but his wife wouldn't give him a divorce. About a year ago, his company put him in charge of finding new office space. One of the real estate people he came in contact with was an old friend from high school, female. They had dinner. One thing led to another.
Yeah, like the Motel Casablanca.
He admitted to us that the night his wife was killed, he wasn't working at the office alone. He was with her.
I never did like his alibi. So, who's this bimbo he was with?
He's not saying.
You gotta be kidding.
The lady is married, Harry. O'Brien says he'd go to jail before he put her on the spot.
What's this guy smoking?
It's called misguided nobility or a death wish. I'm not sure which.
And since he's not going to tell us who it is, you're going to have to find out who she is for us. It's going to be tough. We don't have that much time.
Tough? No problem. Listen, good-looking dame, O'Brien's age, works in real estate, right? Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
Come on, Ellie. Ellie, come on, let's get out of here.
What are you waiting for, Christmas? It's on you. Let's go.
Just a moment, please. I'm trying to figure out what I've got.
You got a 10, a 9, a deuce, and whatever it is that you're looking at. Now, $3, in or out.
All right, all right. I'm in.
What kind of game is this? 5-handed. Where's Harry? He's coming, he's coming.
Those New Year's.
Last card. For the big 4. Give me pair of queens. Queen, no help. 5 outside. And death. What else is new? It's on you, Angie.
I know it's on me. I'm betting $5.
I called a 5.
Hey, if Harry ain't coming, why don't we call No Shapiro?
He's in Philadelphia, trying to get his mother out on bail.
Again?
Hey, Princess. Yo! EJ, what are you doing here?
Trying to think, Roscoe.
Listen, where's Harry? The guys are getting a little restless.
How should I know where he is? He was at the courthouse. He left. He'll get here when he gets here.
Listen, you wouldn't have any potato chips?
Hey, what does this look like, a 7-Eleven?
All right. Don't get yourself in an uproar. I was just asking. Harry, where the hell you been?
Dancing at the Ritz. Guido got any money left?
Are you kidding? He hit a couple of lucky hands.
Guido's winning? What are you guys playing, Old Maid?
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna raise it a deuce.
Ooh, big pair. Kings and trays. What do you got, Guido?
3 2s.
Hey, what? You stay with kings showing for a lousy pair of deuces? What are you, nuts, Guido?
Look, you play your hand, I'll play mine, okay? That be okay?
Oh, well, it's about time, Harry.
Hey, I'm sorry, fellas. I had a rough night. Who deals?
You do, pal.
All right. Now, this is Spit in the Ocean with One-Eyed Jack's Wild and a bye at the end.
Okay. Now we're playing poker.
Harry?
What, the jury come in?
I have to talk to you.
Oh, come on, kid. I just sat down. Deal me out. Look, kid, I got a bunch of sheep in there just waiting to be clipped.
I just dropped Ellie off at her house.
Is she all right?
No, she's not all right. She's upset and she's scared. And I think you ought to be with her, not me, you.
Oh, come on.
Yes, you. Come on, it's only one night out of your life. And tonight's important to her.
Yeah, okay. You're right. But you are gonna keep my seat warm.
Oh, no, Harry, your friends are slobs. I don't want...
Come on. Five-handed, this game's liable to break up with the next flash of lightning. Like you said, it's just one lousy night out of your life. Okay. Fellas, listen, I gotta leave for a little while.
You gotta leave?
It's all right.
Come on.
Big Steve here is gonna take my place. Now, say hi to the fellas, Steve.
Hi.
Big Steve learned to play from his Aunt Martha.
Mildred.
Whatever. Anyway, I figure whatever he doesn't know, you guys can teach him, right?
Yeah, we can teach him.
Yeah.
We'll teach him.
All right, good luck, kid. I'll see you when I get back.
All right, Harry's game, spit with 2 buys.
Spit with 2 buys? What's that?
Deal.
What do you say, McGinnis? I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Come on in.
I got a little antsy down at the office. I mean, not that I was worried about the verdict or anything. I mean, it's a dead bang cinch you're going to get this guy off. Just, well, I thought I could use a little company. While we're waiting around.
So could I. Come on in.
So, how long do you figure?
Oh, 10 minutes. All night. I never could figure out the juries. Can I get you something?
Me? No, I'm fine.
Sit down, Harry.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, McGinnis. Matt never should have lost this case. You shouldn't have had to go through this. I really screwed up.
Oh, Harry, we had this conversation years ago.
If only I could have got to Glynis Kemmelman sooner.
How? We didn't even know about her until the trial was nearly over. I'll never forget the way Matt looked that afternoon, just like a little boy.
Matt? What's this I hear about good news?
Good, Princess, it is great. Harry found her.
What?
He called me about an hour ago. O'Brien's girlfriend. Her name is Kemmelman. Glennis Kemmelman. Only back in school, it used to be Cameron. She works for Levinsky Crowder, commercial real estate
Oh,
brokers.
Matt, that's wonderful.
Ah, damn right. You know, I cannot wait to find out what makes this broad tick. I mean, doesn't she read the papers? Doesn't she realize her boyfriend is on trial for his life? I don't care if she is married. And I sure don't care what O'Brien thinks. I'm going to put her on the stand. I'm going to turn her inside out if that's what it takes. Nicely, of course.
Of course.
Remember what I always told you about pulling a rabbit out of a hat?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad it gets, there's always a rabbit. Harry, what is it?
Bad news, Matt. Bad, it stinks.
The Kemmelman woman, did we lose her?
Yeah, you could say that. About 6 weeks ago, she and her husband decided to have a second honeymoon up Niagara Falls. About 20 miles outside of Buffalo, they smashed into an 18-wheeler coming the other way. They're dead, Matt. Both of them.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
The defendant will rise and face the jury. How do you find?
We find the defendant, John O'Brien, guilty as charged.
It killed him. The verdict killed him. He knew the man was innocent, and he couldn't prevent him from going to jail.
Hey, it was O'Brien's own fault. If he'd have been straight with Matt from the beginning, it never would have come to trial.
No, before that trial, Matt was so confident, so strong.
Oh, come on, McGinnis. He was sick. I mean, one thing had nothing to do with the other.
You'll never convince me of that. He went over those records again and again, day after day, nights, weekends. I knew something was wrong, and so did he, but I couldn't get him to a doctor. No time, he said. No time. We have to win this trial, Harry. We have to win it for him. I'll never forgive myself if we lose.
Hey, don't you think I feel the same way? Don't you think I owe him and you? Talk about a first-class jackass. I'm the one who took the cake. Maybe you don't remember.
I'm sorry I had to call you, Mrs. McGinnis.
How is he, Cookie?
Bad. I was getting ready to throw him out, but he just goes someplace else. Maybe you can do something with him.
Harry.
What? Whoa, McGinnis. Pull up a chair. Take a load off.
You look like you could use some coffee. Have you had anything to eat?
Not hungry. Oh, if you want a burger or something. Cookie!
No, Cookie, never mind. Why don't we go back to the office?
No, thanks. Fine, right here. Besides, what do I want to go back to the office for? There's nothing going on there. You know what I think? I'll tell you what I think. I think, as a private detective, I am a very lousy private detective. I think maybe I'll go back on the force where stupidity is no drawback to a career.
They won't let you back on the force, Harry. You've got a bum knee, remember?
That's not my only problem.
Harry, the verdict is a temporary setback. Matt is already working on the appeal.
Yeah. You may not realize it, McGinnis, but I blew it. I blew it. I should have known.
Known what? Harry, you are not a mind reader. Matt isn't a mind reader. I'm not a mind reader. There's no way that you could have found Glynis Kimmelman in time. And even if you had, there's no telling what she would have said. Or even if the jury would have believed her.
Fine.
No, it's not fine, Harry. Nothing is fine. You are sitting here pickling your brains out while Matt needs you. I need you. I don't know what is the matter with you, Harry. I used to think it was just Irene. Now I know she was just an excuse.
Hey, analysis I don't need, all right?
All right, fine.
All right.
I wouldn't know where to start. All I know is that you are a decent human being. And you're a fine detective. Loyal, dependable.
On my honor, I will do my best.
Throwing it all away for nothing. You're turning your back on the best friend you ever had. A man who believed in you when nobody else did. That man loves you, Harry. He would do anything for you. Now, for God's sake, for once in your life, give a little something back.
My name's Matt, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Matt.
Before we start tonight's meeting, I'd like to ask if we have any newcomers here. Welcome.
Guess he saved my life.
I guess he did.
Maybe you both did.
God, I miss him.
Yeah, I know.
Hello. Yes, this is Ms. McGinnis. Thank you. There's a verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
The defendant will rise and face the jury. How do you find?
We find the defendant not guilty.
All right! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This court stands adjourned.
Nice going, McGinnis. I knew you had it in you. Hey, listen, you're not gonna cry, are you?
Of course I'm gonna cry. I feel wonderful.
Hey, listen, we gotta go celebrate, huh? You pick out a real neat place and I'm buying.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. And I think Steve and EJ ought to go with us.
Right, right. Oh, geez, Steve, I forgot. I left the poor kid sitting in the poker game. They probably got him down to his skivvies by now. Come on, let's go. And we'll finish up with a side order of spaghetti and clams, right? Now, you go get hold of EJ. She's using your office. And I'll go rescue Junior from the sharks.
Possible flush. And no pair. No help. No mercy. Check.
63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. And I'm all in.
Call. Out. Adios. I'm out.
No flush. But I got a pair of 10s.
No.
You ain't this man! This guy has got to be... You ain't this...
That's it, too.
Boys, that was so nice of you. We should all get together. Don't call us, we'll call you. And Matilda, huh?
Yeah, okay? I have nothing. Nothing. Harry, how did it go?
What? Oh, the trial. Yeah, great. Grab your coat. We're gonna celebrate.
That's wonderful. I'm buying. Or rather,
the boys are?
Well, if you insist.
Ready?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's get going. You know, you had a lucky night tonight, kid, but I can see you still need some poker lessons.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, that last hand. How the hell can you call $68 against a flush?
Oh, don't be critical, Harry. We're out to have a good time tonight.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it was still a bozo play.
Thanks. Oh, really? Well, let me explain something to you, Harry. As the last dub card, I counted 10 hearts, including the one I had in the hole. Angelo had to have the 11th because he's pushing a pair of 9s. 9 hearts was the only card I couldn't see. Guido was working a wheel minus a 4, which also had to be a heart. Well, that makes 12. Out of 27 cards undealt, he must have had only a 1 in 27 or a 4% chance of making his hand. And if he had any more money, I would have raised him.
Oh, and by the way, Harry, my Aunt Mildred, she used to deal stud in Vegas.